I have a new camera that I'm trying out today. And even though it's 1 o'clock, I haven't had any breakfast yet. So I thought I would have some asparagus. Although, typical, it doesn't fit into the pan. I've been thinking over the last few days, and I accept that I may buy a bit too much food in one go. So I'm thinking of reducing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking of reducing my shopping. Because over the last week, I have thrown out, shamefully, quite a bit of food. May as well have a cup of tea while I'm here. I'm counting my cups of tea today, about how many I'm making, so this would be my third one. The weather's not that good again, and today it actually feels a bit chilly, to be honest. Right, put these asparagus stalks into the compost bin. Oh, I need to get round and do the dishes. You'll just have to look at them. They are from last night, they are. Do you tend to do yours straight after you've had your food, or are you a bit like me? Do you just leave them till the next day? Until you need to use them again, in fact. Right, I'm going to put my tea into this because at some point I'm going to pop down to the butcher's, because this is what I'm thinking. Rather than getting a load of food that will see me through for a fortnight, I'm thinking about doing a smaller shopping run, but doing it often. So, buy a little, buy it often. So I'm going to give that a go for a few weeks and see how we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So see if I can. It's not about saving money, it's about saving food and not wasting. Because I'm usually quite good. But as you saw the other day, I wasted that. What was it? That beef. And I've just realised that there might be some salmon in there as well that I'd forgotten that I had. But yes, a bit of warmth on the face now would be really needed. I've just been looking on the internet and I've been thinking about buying some plants for the garden. Because as much as I love doing things from seed, I want to spend a lot of my time concentrating on the plot to get that ready, because that's food. As much as flowers are nice to look at, I would prefer to eat a potato rather than a petunia. So I was just looking online to see if there were any plants I could buy. Sort of collections, you know, a cottage garden collection for £30 or something. But they all seem quite expensive. And I thought to myself, I can't really afford it this month anyway. So I'll wait until the end of this month, which is April, because I think if I wait until the end of the month, then there could be a sale on where they get rid of all their spring stuff. So who knows, I might actually end up getting quite a bit of stuff, but a lot cheaper. The whole house needs a bit of a spring clean and sorting stuff out, but I thought I'd just heard the front door. No, there's nobody there, but I'm expecting a book to turn up. So we'll put a bit of butter into the frying pan. And mushrooms. Right, let me have a look. Now, I know a lot of you say that you don't peel them, you just eat them straight off. And that's what I do sometimes. But these ones are a bit wrinkly because I've had them for a while. So I'll just take a tiny bit off. So it's been a busy old week this week. Mr. Borty came down at the start of the week. And typical, on the day that he came to visit, the weather was not that good. And then the next day, on the day that he went back, the weather was fantastic. That's when I spent some time in the garden. And also, the evening. It was the first evening since we changed the clocks where it was quite a mild evening. And while I was sat in the living room, I forgot the back door was open because the cats had been out. And Topsy ran out and she had a really good explore of the garden. But she went a bit too much exploring. She went and sat on the wall. So I got her in Quick Smart, and they haven't been out today because of the weather's not been that good. I'm thinking about growing my own mushrooms again because I do eat a lot of them, but I found those kits that I had before. You had a load of mushrooms in the first week and then you didn't have anything for a while, and then another glut came and then all of a sudden they just stopped. And I do like a mushroom. This book that I've bought is about processed food and talks about how to make changes. And I think I'm pretty good. But you can always learn something new, can't you? Right. Little tip for you. When you're cooking on the stove and you've got the pan on the front hob, do not put the back hobs on because it doesn't work. Right, got some spare mushrooms there. Oh, I was making a cup of tea, wasn't I? So, third cup of tea of the day. There we go. And where's my lid? Try and keep it warm. There you go. I've got this Good Morning Britain one from when I used to work at ITV. I need to clean out. There is still a room down here that I haven't touched yet. Now, part of my nighttime routine is as I go up the stairs, I give this a little tap. Ah, it's nice to see that it's going up. The other day I came here and I tapped it, and the whole thing, I actually thought that it was broke. The whole thing just shot down all the way down the bottom. But now that's actually going up to change. And look, the more you tap it, the more it changes. And the current temperature in the house is 20 degrees because I do have the heating on. 2 troughs, I think. One there and one on the other side would look really nice with some daffodils and some flowers. Maybe something with a bit of scent in it. My mint, I must say, seems to be very slow in growing. In fact, that's a waste to have that heat mat on when it's just 2 things. Oh, right. Okay, have a look at this. This is the battery for my bike because it's a power assist, and that is charged. I put it by the back door because, to be honest, I was a bit concerned. You see so many videos on the internet of batteries exploding. I thought if I put it by the back door, then at least I can run in the opposite direction if anything was to go wrong. But I think these fires that you see, I think that's because it's not the battery that actually came with the device. I think it's people trying to save a bit of money, and they've bought a cheaper version. Right, so I'm having asparagus, mushrooms, and 2 eggs. Let's have a quick look at the garden. Everything's looking rather nice out there. I noticed this morning that the daffodils are just about to come into flower. But I think it looks quite nice. The cats are asleep, so I can't show. Oh no, there's one there, look. There's Topsy in the spare room, taking advantage of the fact that my clothes are on the floor because they need to be washed. It's Wednesday today, and I can't remember whether it's half-day closing because I've been fancying over the last 24 hours a bit of cowl, but I need some meat. So after I've had this, because I feel as if I'm rushing this, I still haven't got into the routine of getting up early. When I was in London, I used to like to get up at 5:30 in the morning, but here I just haven't seemed to have switched my body to that early yet. I don't think the weather helps. The plan was to wake up early every day and go for a walk. Never mind what the weather was. Maybe tomorrow I'll start that. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of salt into my eggs and a bit into the asparagus, which I forgot about. Also a bit of pepper. Now I can't remember if I told you. I think I started to tell you a bit earlier. So I'm going to reduce my shopping. And I found out where is it Lidl or Aldi? I can't remember. Lidl. There's a Lidl in Treorchy apparently, but it's hidden away. That's why I couldn't find it before. So I'm going to go down there and have a look at that. I'm also looking into the possibility of buying a bus pass, which apparently they're £100 a month. So I've got to try and work out, do I travel enough? It's £8 to go down to Treorchy and back. Do I travel enough to justify the £100? But that is just for the valley. But if I went for £120, I could travel all over South Wales. But I was looking at it, and the problem is with £120, it's okay to travel all over South Wales, but the problem is the time that it takes. So that place where I went on Monday with Boaty, Gleneath, 20 minutes over the mountaintop. To get there by bus, I worked out it was 3.5 hours. So I don't know. I was looking back at some of my old videos, which I'm posting up on my second channel, if you didn't know about that, called Sean's Second Channel. Clue is in the title. So I'll put a link to that below. And I was looking at some videos there about my food. And I'm eating very similar now compared to last year. And I just thought, my food, I'd say, is 60% good. So maybe I need to mix it up. And maybe I need to start going to the gym. Because a weight training friend of mine said that doing weights helps with weight loss. Right, let me keep an eye on this. So maybe it's time I incorporated that into my schedule. And if I do that, the best gym that I can find seems to be in Treorchy, which would mean I would be going there 3 times a week, which means I would need the bus. And in the other room is Amber, keeping herself warm by the radiator. So I don't know, I'm just weighing up all these thoughts at the moment, and I will mull them over while I have my breakfast. Or more of a brunch now, because it's nearly 1:30. Do you remember these from the 70s? I collected them from eBay a few years ago. Right, I'm going to enjoy this and I'll catch up with you in a while. Beautiful. Yesterday I went down Treorchy, and while I was down there I popped into Too Good to Waste just to see if they had any little bits, and there was something, and they've just been to deliver it. So what do you think to this? I don't know what style it is. If it's a grandmother, a grandfather. Well, it's not a grandfather. Maybe it's a daughter clock. But I've always liked a Westminster chime. So I'm going to see if I can set it up. Now, they gave me all the bits and bobs. We did try it in the shop, but we couldn't get it to work, because this bit here looks a bit dodgy too. Well, it's not dodgy, but it's a bit of a awkward thing to put together. So I need to attach this to that little piece there without it dropping down the hole, because there's no other way to get it out if it does fall down other than to lift it up and give it a good shake. Now, I don't know if I've done this right. Are there any clock experts amongst you? Is that correct? So the top part is not connected to anything. It's just this part here. Is that all you do? Love the smell on these old things. Now, do I wind them all up, or is it overwound? That feels tight. That feels tight. And that feels very tight. So who knows, maybe it won't work. That's tight as well. I think it does need a bit of fixing, because surely when you do that, it should click when it gets to the top, but it's clicking here. So if that's 12, that's the hour. Yeah, so that would be 15, 30, 45. Okay, well that's fine, because these can be moved around. But it's not chiming. So I bought it with the full intention of it being a project. It was £30. Any ideas? Tell me below. Thanks. Now, how do I get this to continue to move? Because it does it for a while and then it stops. Could it be that it's too wound up? I'm looking to you for advice here. The ticking is from the clock on the wall, so don't get confused by that. But I'm thinking it could be overspun, if that is even a thing. Well, I look forward to reading your comments. Right, I've just worked this out. Put it up to near the 12. And if I turn this wheel at the top, at least we can hear it. Oh, well, it worked a minute ago. It worked just now. Oh, well, that's bizarre, because that worked just now. That would be a beautiful sound if I could get it to go by itself. Like I said, I look forward to reading the comments about this. Right, if I just undo this a bit, I think I can drop the screw on the floor. Think it could be time for a cup of tea very soon. Found it. Whew. What's happened is the hand has been physically bent, so it is pointing upwards when it gets to 12, but it's been bent. Right. I've done that. That looks quite straight now. That's the problem. People are turning it from the top. Right. Okay. That's so. At least one thing is fixed anyway. I think it'd be quite nice in the middle of the night to hear it chime. And hopefully these walls are thick enough so that the neighbours don't hear it. Oh well, nothing like a little project, is there? Right, cup of tea. Well, the kettle's boiling, so I'm going to pack up and relax. So I'll catch up with you next time when we'll be in the garden, because I discovered something recently that could provide a nice supply of garden plants. See you next time. Bye for now.